In Bristol. Our top story is the Players Union saying it's done negotiating and wants MLB to simply tell the players, here's when you show up for work. And the union wants to know by the close of business on Monday. Major League Baseball could implement a 50-game schedule, paying the players their full prorated salaries. Now, the league has tried to get the players to play more games for less money, but those negotiations, those talks have obviously gone nowhere, which brings us to our question of the night. Who's to blame for this MLB mess? Is it the players? Is it the owners? Or both? To give your take, hit up KHOU.com/vote now or that KHOU 11 app to be a part of the show. And while you're voting, it's time for us to start talking with Daniel Gotera and former Major League scout Jeremy Booth. Jeremy, what can we expect for Major League Baseball on Monday, which is the deadline the union has placed to put something in front of them?
Yeah, your MLB is going to come back now, and they're going to unilaterally impose a season. And the union has said, you know what, we're done talking, so go ahead. My guess is 48 to 50 games. They're going to give them a report date. They're going to start, and they're just going to go. There's really not much to it anymore. We haven't seen the actual agreement, so we don't know what it says. We just know that both sides agree that MLB can do this and that the players are held on to pro rata pay. So you're going to see that. It's going to be a little ugly between the two sides for a while, and they're still going to throw blame back and forth. They'll play about 50 games.
A couple of weeks ago, we talked about these two sides reading the room. Obviously, nobody's reading anything at this point. So my whole takeaway from this is that the average fan, the average person cannot relate to these type of negotiations. And I think that's where they really have a hard time connecting with this fan base that's just kind of waiting for this to come out. People are losing interest right now, and that is terrible for them.
Yeah, we made it, 26 years with labor peace, right? In any industry, that's a feat. It goes to talk about what's changed in the game, part of how the game's being evaluated, how it's changing from an on-field standpoint, the length of the game, the loss of fans year to year. This is a real systemic problem that I think comes from owners listening to the wrong people. We've got a mindset that is starting to spread. And just check that. It has spread. It's through every team in baseball at some point. And we've now seen the end of a very harmonious relationship, that'll culminate in what I believe is an almost certain work stoppage at the end of 21.
Jeremy, when you mention a mindset, what is that mindset and where does it come from?
So that mindset starts out with the former general manager of the Houston Astros, Jeff Luhnow, what I like to call the Luhnow-ites, and that is spreading throughout baseball that every person in this game is a decimal point. Nobody goes to the game to watch the usher. Nobody goes to the game to watch the owner. Doesn't happen. People go to the game to watch what's on the field, the talent on the field. And for generations, this game has been passed down person to person, field to field, emotional, right? Fans get emotional about me even talking about Jeff Luhnow. They get emotional, right? Because why are you emotional? Because you're vested in the game. We've taken the emotion out and tried to make it about numbers. And it's not Wall Street. It's not. It is an emotional, heart-wrenching love affair with the game. If you take that away, you're going to see fans leave.
I got to tell you, though, sometimes on the south side of Chicago, people do pay to go see a hot dog vendor in section 112. Not going to lie, he's actually really good at his craft.
That's you know what? That's good. That's good for him, and that's a great
inside information for you guys in case you didn't know. Section 112 hot dog vendor.
112 hot dogs on the field. Tim Anderson or the hot dog vendor?
I don't know. The hot dogs sometimes are pretty. No, I'm just kidding. Tim Anderson. Look, so realistically, though, we've talked about how the players in these labor negotiations, it doesn't matter the sport, usually don't come out on the right side of the union scale. How are the players going to come out, do you think, after this year? Let's say they play just 48 games. How do you think people are going to view their approach to what has happened this season?
Well, a 48-game or 50-game season isn't a season, right? So it doesn't legitimize anything that happens. Even a World Series winner, the Nationals started last year, 19 or 31, ended up winning the World Series. So it's not something that's going to endear anybody to anything. And in some places, you can't play with fans. In our state of Texas, they've said you can play with fans, right? Other places, you can't do that. You may not be able to do it at all this year. So I think for the fans, it's disappointment across the board. The players are going to hustle and they're going to compete because that's what they do. They're players and they want to play baseball. But the damage has been done over this negotiation, over the contentiousness. It's very, very evident between the two sides. Unfortunately, the players get blamed more often. This one I'm going to put on the owners. Again, antitrust exemption. They have that. They don't have to open the books, and they have it. So this is on the owners. This one right here is squarely on them, and the fans are going to blame the players. But either way, the damage has been done.
Now, the other big news from this past couple of days, the Yankees and sign stealing from 2017. Now, before we examine that, let's get Chinadu's take on this.
He says what?
All right, so basically, guys, online baseball gamblers from DraftKings say the private letter from Major League Baseball includes information that would implicate the Yankees in a far greater scandal. Jeremy, what are you hearing now?
So I'm going to go back to, the three of us sat in the studio and talked about sign stealing then, right? And our good friend Daniel Gotera said, what about the other teams in baseball? And I said, we're not there yet, okay? We're there now. We've had another team, the Red Sox, we sanctioned some, right? Now we're in the Yankees. And, we talked about that it wouldn't just be one team. We did talk about was how, why, and really what we talked about was when, okay? So I'm going to talk about the Yankees by talking about the Astros first. The Astros are guilty and have the penalties they had because of when they did it. Not just what they did, but when they did it. But it becomes illegal, and it's now you can't do it. You don't go further and tell the league, hey, we don't care what you say. We don't care what you think. We do what we want to do. Like, you don't do that. So the Yankee sign stealing, first and foremost, stops when the commissioner says no mas. Like that's when it stops, okay? So for that, there's no sanctions coming after it. There's no problems coming after it. That said, I've heard it's far more mild than what anything the Astros did. To me, the severity of the cheating doesn't matter a whole lot. It's still cheating. And the Yankees have said, from what I was able to gather, that the release of this letter would damage their brand, which tells you there's something in there that they don't want anybody to read. Any letter that comes out is going to be heavily redacted. So the Astros fans, I would say, I understand why you'd sit there and go, it's not just us. But it was just you after the commissioner said, don't do it no more. So it's not something that makes the Yankees look good. It's not something that's okay for the game, but they stopped when they were supposed to stop, and it's nowhere near as serious as the Astros.
And really the fact that Jeff Luhnow allegedly didn't forward any of the Major League Baseball Commissioner's Office memos or warnings, and that was really one of the big downfalls, Daniel.
Yeah, it was. I'm just interested to see how John Boy is going to react to all of this. I mean, I think he's probably going to be broken up when this letter is completely redacted. I mean, he really had a lot to say. Look, listen, I know Yankees fans have been piling on the Astros. Hey, Dodger fans, watch out, because the Dodgers might be next along this chain of teams. But, Jeremy, you're right. I think it's all about when it happened. And, look, it's still bad. I don't care how many teams did it. You still cheated. You should not have done what you did. So, yeah, you could not point to the Yankees, you didn't have your house in order before you thought, smack, you should really look at your own house. But you still did it.
When you cheat, you have to hear it. And, look, like I said, the Astros are the luckiest team in the game right now.
There's
no fans, there's no anything. There's 48 games, and then, hey, we move on, right? So, it is what it is. But I think all of this really sadly underscores the reason why the players and the owners aren't getting along. It's the people in control of the game right now that the owners are listening to. This is all something they're doing, like playing a video game. It's not a video game. This is for real.
All right, so Jeremy's going to hang with us through the next break. Jeremy, stay right there.
Got it.